Silent Night, Deadly Night is a 1984 horror movie directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr. and it stars Robert Brian Wilson, Tony Nero and Gilmer McCormick. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a Christmas horror movie that follows a young boy called Billy from childhood to adulthood until he turns 18, and this is the first time I've seen this movie, and it's a really haunting movie if you're in Billy's situation. We start at the very beginning when Billy's just about 4 or 5 years old and he goes to visit his grandfather in a mental home, and his grandfather doesn't speak, and when his mum and dad leave the room, his grandfather talks to him and says, if you've been good then Santa will bring you presents, but if you've been naughty then Santa will come for you. Basically Santa's going to kill you. So that scars him for life that very night, and on his way home with his parents they accidentally bump into a bad Santa. This Santa Claus was robbing a store and his car broke down, and he stopped them at the side of the road and he killed them, and Billy witnessed it all, but he managed to get away. Him and his little brother survived, so him and his little brother were put into an orphanage at a very young age, and it cuts to 1974 when Billy's just 8 years old, and he witnesses other things, some things that are sexual, and he just kind of is scared of the whole Christmas period, but the Mother Superior and all the other nuns not really force Billy into celebrating Christmas, but they scare him into celebrating Christmas, and he's a very troubled young boy because of what happened when he was younger, and he's never going to forget that. And then it cuts to 10 years after that in 1984, present day 1984. Billy's 18 years old now, and he's been sent to do volunteer work in a toy shop, and the toy shop are pretty good to him until it hits Christmas time and he starts to remember all the bad things that happened to him. One night Billy snaps when he's asked to put on the Santa outfit because the original Santa Claus for the store is in hospital, so he reluctantly fills in to be that Santa Claus for the store. Everything is still going okay for Billy, but he does snap when he sees that the girl that he likes, that he works with, getting attacked by somebody in the store as well, and he kills him, but then she's not happy with him basically saving her life. Not saving her life, but saving her from being attacked, but he ends up killing her as well. So from then on in, Billy's character changes. For me personally, I felt for Billy all the way through the movie. It must have been about 40 minutes in when Billy just a light flicks in Billy's head and he just goes on a killing spree, and from then on in you don't feel for Billy, but it's a very entertaining movie from then on in. Like I mentioned, I hadn't seen this movie at all. I always wanted to watch this movie, but something always got in the way, and I thought finally I'm going to watch this movie as I'm reviewing Christmas horror movies on my channel, and I thought that Silent Night, Deadly Night is one that's worth watching, so I did watch it. I wasn't expecting anything whatsoever for this movie, but I was pleasantly surprised. Now, start with the acting in this film. The acting, we can't really gauge everyone's acting in it because we don't see enough of them on screen. The only people we see on screen most of is the two nuns, the Mother Superior and the other nun that's looking after Billy, and obviously Billy himself. Now I will say that I liked Billy as an adult. When I first saw him on screen, he didn't talk for the first few minutes because it was a weird music montage.
I'm looking for the warm side of the door.
But I really did like Billy. When he was talking, you felt for him. You understood his pain because of what he went through the first half of the movie, and then when it came to him killing people, you could see him changing from being a good guy to a bad guy. So the guy who played Billy was great. I think that he was good as a good person, and he was crazy and great as a bad guy, as a killer. It mentions that Linnea Quigley is in this as well. I do like Linnea Quigley. I loved her in Night of the Demons and Return of the Living Dead, so I was looking forward to seeing her character in this film. Unfortunately, she only lasts 2 or 3 minutes, and I think that her death scene is one of the best death scenes in the movie, so it's good to see her on screen, but you don't see a lot of her. But I think what pays off for her role in the film is her death. For a 1980s Christmas horror movie, I think that Silent Night, Deadly Night has one of the strongest storylines of any of the Christmas horror movies I've seen from the 1980s. Even these days, Christmas horror movies don't come out that often, but looking back and reading the story about Silent Night, Deadly Night, it's a very touching story about a boy who lost his family and he's put into an orphanage, and he's basically a screwless, but no one's there to father him, to mother him. He's just been well, it looks like he's just been in that orphanage for all that time since it happened. So you feel for the character a lot, and I think that that is a good thing for the story, because the story is very strong. And most horror movies, especially from the 80s, especially slasher ones, it's about a guy who goes around killing people and that's it. We don't get a lot of motive. We don't need to see a motive behind all of them, but I think Billy's motive is a strong one, and I can see why he's killing people. Obviously nobody would do that in real life, but I can see why he's doing it, and it gives the Billy character a good dimension. I'm sad to see him die at the end of this movie, because I would have liked to have seen him in further movies. Even if they'd done something like Halloween, you know, Michael Myers is 61 years old in the new Halloween. Billy wouldn't be that old, you know, he was only 18 in 1984, so he would have been born in 1966. So if he was in another movie now, you know, he would still be under 60 years old. So it would have been good to see him come, you know, in 2018, but obviously that didn't happen. As it is a Christmas horror movie, I will judge the Christmassy feelings in all these horror movies, and I think that Silent Night, Deadly Night is one of the most Christmassy horror movies that I've seen in a long time as well. Obviously the killer is dressed as Santa Claus, so that's a bonus straight away, but even when we don't see him dressed as Santa Claus, you do still have the feeling of Christmas, because it's in the snow, it's at the winter time, everyone's got the Christmas decorations up, swapping presents and stuff, so it did feel like a Christmassy movie. And I think the whole family dynamic of him losing his family is a good contrast to the storyline, because you need your family at Christmas time. You want to be around your family at Christmas time, but he has no family apart from his little brother. I do hear that the other 5 Silent Night, Deadly Night movies are pretty bad. There's even one directed by Brian Usna, he directs part 4, but they're all bad apparently. But because Silent Night, Deadly Night was so good and surprising for me, I'm actually going to check those ones out. They probably will be terrible movies, because I do hear they're really bad, but I'm going to watch them anyway. But yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night, it was a great Christmas horror movie. So what did you think of Silent Night, Deadly Night? Remember, it is a 1984 horror movie, so if you've not seen it before and you're watching it for the first time now, it might not be as good as it would have been back in the 80s, but try and put that to the back of your mind. What do you think of the movie? If you've seen it, leave your comments down below. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching again, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.